Sandeep Shastri, Pandora's box, yes, with what Mr. Tiwari says, but also politically explosive, because if you look at that, on just the basis of this data, if you have 15%, which is the general category, and you look at what was announced last, of course, not on caste, but on the basis of EWS, which is 10%, you apply to that 15%, we're looking at upwards of a 65% reservation for the upper caste, or the general category.
Preeti, the whole contours of the debate would change. I think we would need to go back to the Supreme Court to look at the whole question of what is the cap on reservation. Is the reservation we are going to give be commensurate with the exact numbers that a particular caste has? I think all these issues open up, and the economic basis of reservation, which you referred to as the 10%, I think would be over and above any other reservation you talk about. So if the new caste census talks about the backwards being at a particular number, what are its implications for the reservation policy in the light of the stand the Supreme Court has taken on this issue would be what we would need to look at as we go forward.
All right. Okay. Mr. Yadav wants to make a comment. Go ahead, Mr. Yadav, then I'll cut across to Mr. Tiwari for a final word.
I think Professor Shastri is absolutely right. This would change the contours of debate. And that is why I suspect there is so much of anxiety about it. The simple fact is, neither the OBC reservation nor the EWS reservation was based on numbers. CST reservation is proportion of population share. EWS and OBC were never linked to that. This is fact. We all know it. But for heaven's sake, I think Bihar data has already made a point that we need all in a caste census. If you needed an evidence for that, Bihar has already provided it. I really hope in this country, we shall not debate medication before we have MRI or X-ray. Let's have an X-ray, let's have a test, then let us debate medication.
All right.
Let us not first medication and then decide whether to have a test or not.
Mr. Tiwari, for the BJP, the reasons that you gave, that it's that the entire exercise is also opening up a Pandora's box, but it's also very politically uncomfortable for the Bharatiya Janata Party, isn't it, sir? So you're on mute.
It's not exactly uncomfortable for the BJP, correct? Because BJP claims to have given having given the highest representation to OBCs in the cabinet, which is around 35% ministers. And this has not been challenged by the opposition, so I assume it is true. The second fact is that in the Bihar cabinet itself, see, charity begins at home. If you analyze the cabinet ministry of Bihar, there are 7 Yadavs, which is much higher than the population or the proportionate population would allow. So what I'm trying to say is that there will be a big political, you can say, earthquake if this is likely to be implemented. And the next move is very important, because whenever you go for medication, the doctor does advise that you need to take an X-ray, but he also gives you various options. Like this, if this happens, this is what would happen. If this happens, this is what would happen. Politics is the art of managing the contradictions. The BJP has fairly managed it well, because it has been getting today the votes or the support across caste groups, OBCs, upper caste, SC, everybody. Now the opposition's attempt is to make a dent in this OBC vote. Will it succeed? Will it not? Only time will tell. But politics has also moved beyond caste. There is a class element today. BJP has given a class tadka to caste-based politics. So, what is the identity of the voter? First, is he a OBC or a upper caste, or a SC or a ST? Or is he a rich or a middle or a poor or a lower class? So that is the key motivating factor when a person goes to the booth and votes.
Right, Mr. Yadav, there's a point in that, because right, there is a point in that, Mr. Yadav, because let's say look at Nitish Kumar, who's brought it in. He was elevated to the post of chief minister, not possibly as a Kurmi, but as Sushasan Babu. But coming back, Mr. Yadav, to the core point, are we now looking at going down the ways of a Maharashtra or a Tamil Nadu, where the battles will keep getting fought in court and we are going to be indiscriminate about reservation?
Preeti, why do we call going down? I think there might be a language bias that you may wish to correct because we go down on a very bad path. Giving people who are 80% of population 69% seats, not 80, I'm sorry, 90% people, giving them 69% may not look going down at least to 69% people. So you may wish to think about all these things. I think, Preeti, for sensitive people like you, it's very important to understand the reality of caste. Indian media, for the first time, has begun to confront the truth of caste. Let us be open about it. To me, it doesn't matter whether it favors Mr. Nitish Kumar or it favors the BJP, whoever benefits. If BJP benefits, all right, they should benefit. What's the problem with that?
Right.
What is important is the country should know. I, as a citizen of India, want to know, first of all, before we do any policy, I want to know what is the proportion of different caste and communities in the population, and what is their share in every powerful position of this country. Is that a crime to ask for it? Why do some people get very anxious? This is Pandora's box. It would happen. Only the very privileged people say that. In South Africa, the white Africans use this language. Oh, this would open Pandora's box. Please don't behave like one.
But, Mr. Yadav, I'm coming to the close of this debate, but you said that, sensitive people like I'm a privileged OBC and I don't want reservation. I could, I can say that. A lot of the other OBC...
So am I.
Right.
So am I.
We come from acute privilege. And in the utopian world, sir...
But that does not mean that you and I do not discuss the country.
No, that's the reason for this debate, Mr. Yadav.
Who need it? There are crores of people who need it. So I'm also a privileged OBC. I have never benefited from OBC, and my children and no one in my family is entitled to it, which is perfectly all right.
So therefore,
but that does not mean that crores of OBCs should not get their due.
Well, the fact is a lot of people who are going to be sitting there, especially the young who want to run this country on merit, it's an utopian concept, we understand, could fall back on the likes of you and I who come from privilege, yet come from the OBC, misusing that reservation, which many of our other Indians who have reservation do with what is called the creamy layer. But yes, it's open for discussion and we must discuss it because it's essential in terms of representation.
India's #1 political reporter
defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV.